when you have your mask on, it's like, since it's metal hitting a really hard, object, it's loud, it's loud. It really is. I've been through some experiences where the blade has come up and hit me in the neck, but if you're really a good athlete, then you're just gonna have to fight through it. If you really wanna get to first place, that's what it's gonna take. You're gonna have to just shake it off. I've been fencing for 6 years now. My mom got me interested in fencing, and after I started at the age of 6, I really just loved it. And the thing that I really love the most is how you really have to keep thinking. It's like, I would say fencing, like our coach always says, is physical chess. You really have to think. You're always moving. It's footwork up and down the strip. You always have to think every moment, make your decisions really fast. I fence Y12 and Y14, and I'm 12, so I can do a category up, one category up. I can't age down, though. Fencing higher categories will always make you get better as a fencer because it's more of a challenge. You're not gonna be a good fencer by always winning. There has to be some type of challenge or some type of person that's gonna challenge you to get better, to get to their level. And once you do, and you start taking them down, then you go to higher people and you start taking them down. You really have to learn from higher fencers. It's not always gonna be, I'm gonna win this bout. I know good fencers, so obviously I want to fence them. Or if they beat me in some type of category, I need to fence you because I need to learn with you what you're doing again, what you're doing now, how you practice. It's like you write their names down, what club they go to, find out what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. You really get to know that person and then get to know how they fence. So there's people that I watch in tournaments and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna beat you next time. I need to beat you, yeah. The blades aren't sharp, so I'm not getting hurt, but it's also really intense. There's 3 blades. There's épée, which épée has a target area of the whole entire body. There's foil, which is only the torso that you can hit and also the back area. And then there's saber, where you can hit everything from your torso and up, including the head, and that's also for épée. But of course you have a mask on, so you're not getting hit in the face. The tournament went okay. I feel like I could have been or did way better than I did because I've worked really hard over these 6 years and I know that I could have did better. But I'm glad with my result either way. I'm just glad I didn't place lower. Something that I really need to work on is being able to get through the pain that I'm having. I really need to get through the whole bout without giving up. And our coach always says that it's better to fence when you're tired. And I really do think it is because when you're tired, you're not gonna make mistakes. You're really thinking. And I think that's something that I should work on. I think I will work on it, I will. Tournaments in general, it's about, I say up to 20 strips in the whole building. And it's really big, the one that I went to, Windy City. It's about 20 strips there. A strip is a place where you fence. It's like metal, and it's like, if you use the type of gym shoes that I have on, you need to pick up your feet. Because if you're sliding your feet down the strip, those shoes are just gonna rip at the bottom. And it's really long. There's a certain distance that you can only go, and it's just a vertical sport, so you're only going up and down. You can't move to the sides, you're not going off the strip. If you go off the strip, it's a point to your opponent, and you don't want that to happen. And so you get assigned to a pool, and you go to that one strip, and they tell you your numbers, and you have to fence everybody in that pool that you're in. It's intense, but it's also really fun because it's a good experience, and you get to learn multiple things, whether you lose or win. And in the end, there's elimination bouts, and so you also have to fence elimination bouts through multiple people. So if there was 100 people in that tournament, I would be fencing all of them until you get to first place, which is what I could have done, but I'm glad I placed where I did. Coach has always been there for me ever since I was little. He's literally seen me grow up since I was 6 because that's when I started. He's always been there. He's always been there to support me, always been there to help me through hard times. Even if it's not involving fencing, Coach is always there to help me. It's really something special to me. Coach is literally my second family. I love Coach. He does so much for me, and he really shows it. Most of the kids, I guess, They see it, but not so much that I have, because I've been here the longest, and I really know that coach is only trying to spread fencing. He doesn't need our money. He doesn't need any of that. He's just here to help us become something. He wants to help us succeed. Fencing is my life. I talk about it all the time. I'm so dedicated to this sport. Like, even my family gets annoyed when I talk about it so much. I really do love it. I do see myself in college and high school fencing, and I hope that one day I can go to the Olympics or just experience it, because I really think it'll be a big accomplishment that I've made. Usually it's only us at Brownsville Fencing Academy that's there, like that's full of Black children. People think of us lowly, and I think it would be better to have more of us in the fencing industry. I think the girls at the tournaments are really serious. We're all fighting for the exact same thing. We all want scholarships. We all want it. But I do think that, personally for me, I have to fight even harder because I need the scholarship. I'm not any millionaire that can just go out and go to this private boarding school for free and just have my parents pay for it. So I'm really gonna have to fight for it if I want it. So that's why I think most of the girls out there, they fight for it, but not as hard as me, because that's what I do. I'm a fencer.
Next week in Beverly, an explorer hits rough waters.
And it took me 20 years and time with a psychiatrist before I could consider writing the story.
From Superphonic Studios, this is Chicago. Listen every Sunday.